CHIP is now trading on Coinbase Spot, giving the USD.AI-linked token direct access to a major US exchange venue. The listing expands reach, but the real test is whether order books become deep enough for normal trading. For CHIP Listed Coinbase, the useful question is, does new access create durable liquidity or only a short burst of listing attention? That question matters because the headline alone does not tell viewers whether the change affects access, liquidity, regulation, security, or real usage. The segment follows the event from the confirmed move into the pressure point that decides whether the story has lasting weight. The first filter is whether the claimed change can be observed without guessing future price or motive. The Coinbase spot listing gives traders direct token exposure rather than a derivatives-only route. CHIP also recently gained an Upbit KRW pair, placing the token across both Western and Asian trading venues. This baseline defines the part of the story that does not depend on market mood or social reaction. It gives viewers the actors, timing, numbers, product details, or legal stage needed before drawing any conclusion. It also keeps unsupported claims out of the analysis, so the focus stays on the evidence already visible. When the baseline is clear, the remaining risk is easier to separate from the confirmed change. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The mechanism behind CHIP Listed Coinbase is this. The mechanism is venue expansion. More venues can bring more buyers and sellers, but they can also split liquidity across order books. A healthy spot listing shows tight bid-ask spreads, steady volume, and depth across multiple price levels. In plain English, the headline only matters if the process underneath it changes access, cost, liquidity, trust, security, or user behavior in a measurable way. That mechanism is the bridge between the event and the practical consequence, and it is where weak stories usually fall apart. If the mechanism does not produce measurable follow-through, the headline stays smaller than it first appears. The affected group is traders entering or exiting CHIP through major exchange rails for the first time. Access lowers friction, but it does not guarantee price direction or long-term participation. The practical consequence is where the story becomes useful for viewers. It shows who may feel the change first, which system is under pressure, and why the event reaches beyond a single headline. It also keeps the scope tight, because a crypto story can sound broad even when the supported effect is much narrower. The strongest impact claim is the one that can be tied back to a user, market, protocol, institution, or rule. The unresolved part is whether first-week volume stays after the listing rush cools. Spread tightening and consistent daily activity would clarify whether liquidity is improving. That distinction prevents the strongest claim from outrunning the evidence. The confirmed part can be followed now. The unresolved part needs a trigger, response, filing, wallet movement, usage data, court step, governance action, or market signal. Until that arrives, the story should be read as a live test rather than a settled outcome. This is also where viewers should ignore claims that cannot be connected to the actual next step. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. For CHIP Listed Coinbase, the next signal is the first 48 to 72 hours of volume, bid-ask spreads, and order book depth. For CHIP, the listing only becomes meaningful if the market stays liquid after the first wave of attention. That is the closing readout. Track the concrete signal, not the loudest interpretation, because the next confirmed step will decide how the story should be read. If the signal appears, the event gains weight. If it does not, the headline remains narrower than the attention around it. The clean read is to follow the proof point and revise the view only when that proof point changes.